and developed by Node.js, and then the discussion. So, everyone think about what is the cloud-based PaaS. The cloud PaaS, in a short word, is very simple. The cloud-based PaaS is simplified image sharing. In the US, about 20% images were hand-carried or emailed directly to the physicians for some purpose, such as referral service. Also, and in Taiwan, I think it's the same situation when you or with your family and to the hospital, and you must go to the original hospital to apply the medical information records, such like a CD or DVD, and pay some money and carry out the CD and bring to another hospital. So if we apply to the cloud PaaS, that thing will be changed to the user behavior. For example, such as you can apply your patient CD online, and then register to the new hospitals. So that will be change the user behavior in the future. And however, so many vendors are claimed, and their PaaS or their software are browser-based PaaS. And unfortunately, which is based on very specified situations, such as those software is running with a plugin on the specified browsers, especially for the IE. And for the cloud PaaS, it is a very important characteristic is that a zero footprint software or zero footprint client. And today, many products, similar products in the whole world, are very basic and do not support for diagnosis viewing, and which is needed in a PaaS. But I think it will bring an impact of mobile applications, such as you can change the user behavior in a RIS. RIS means Radiology Information Systems in a PaaS. For example, physician can viewing the medical imaging and report at home, and we all go to hospital and sit at his office. So that is the cloud PaaS. What is a traditional PaaS? A PaaS means a picture archiving and communication system. It is used to safety and security acquire, distribute, and manage medical images. And it's only within a clinical practice or in a healthcare enterprise. And the traditional PaaS includes all. The first is a DICOM schedule workflow. DICOM schedule workflow, and it has a regular image routings. Because the DICOM standard, which is based on the TCP/IP based client and server architecture. So each client needs a state IP to use those applications. So and also the many medical image service, which is built on the various service. So in one client, it needs many service, and this client should install many software. And obviously, it's under the DICOM standards. And what is the cloud PaaS? And the functionality between cloud PaaS and the traditional PaaS is the same, but there's only one difference. It's a use case. The cloud PaaS can use in a cross departments in a healthcare enterprise, or between the healthcare enterprise and anywhere. And also, the cloud PaaS can enhance the traditional PaaS, the schedule workflow manager, and because the traditional PaaS, the schedule workflow is very complicated and need a more higher level technology. And also, cloud PaaS is more flexible. flexible for image routing, and because each client don't need any setting a static IP, especially for the mobile device or for example, use the wireless networking to connect all this service. So this will be a big change and a big challenges in the hospital. It's because it's a more flexible and it can perhaps maybe bring some new revenue for the vendor or bring some many advantage for the users, especially for the radiologists and the physicians. And also, of course, the cloud PaaS is not only under the DICOM standards, but also for the other open standards such as HL7 and the IHE. And all in all, the traditional PaaS have the same functionality with the traditional PaaS, but it's additional has additional features that the traditional PaaS cannot offer. So, and the cloud PaaS created important applications, especially for the department of radiologists. The radiologist can query and retrieve the medical image information anytime, anywhere. And in the past, the traditional PaaS, the radiologist should be sit on the chair and open the PC and do some diagnosis or some applications. The advantage of the cloud PaaS, I have summarized a few important factors. At first, it can reduce the software, it can reduce the hardware maintenance fee. Second is the cloud PaaS can connect to the zero in hospital. And what is zero? Zero is an information system which is very close and it cannot be integrated with the other information systems. Now, and many in hospital, there are so many such as zero systems. For example, such as nursing systems, cardiology information systems. They have to stay alone and cannot connect to such as PaaS and HIS. So the cloud PaaS can use open standards and the open PaaS way direct to the zero. So this is very important because it can integrate all of the information and also information system in a healthcare enterprise. And it also can improve the current risk workflow for data change model and the patient collaboration. And it's going to help the streamline the patient care by allowing users to quickly and easily access patients' images directly from the EMR systems. And this will bring another alternative thinking is for the hospital IT department is change the strategy of the hospital IT infrastructure. And next will be a use of a vendor-neutral archivist strategy as the source solutions for the PaaS for storage, communication, and the management. And this sentence I was catch from the Wikipedia, and it is a very academic description, but I have summarized a more easier way to say that the vendor-neutral archive is that allows user can access any file in any standard format in a standard interface, such as you can use the same browser and access not only the medical images and the reporting, laboratory information, pathology, and so many, and such as billing and HIS information, and by just only use one standard browser. And those guys is a Herman Kusterwein. He's also my friend, and he has made some comments that the VNA is an upgrade and a change the current user behavior and the current applications workflow, such as the viewing, acquisition, and workplace management And those components should be interchangeable. So it is it's a more easier than the traditional methods to migrate and converting and change the data format to interface the VNA. Those guys, if your research is about the DICOM and the medical image, you should know him. He's David Clooney. David Clooney says, he is also a DICOM committee co-chairman. And he said in US more than 442 vendors need to interface the image systems. And the users need a reliable solution to access medical information. So we can realize that with technology in the distributed medical information systems. And he also mentioned about those VNA can support the outside of department of hospital, and which means that in hospital, any department such as clinical departments like pathology or nursing, it can view and access the medical imaging. 如果你们有听不懂或什么的话，就是我可以用中文来补充。那就是可以跟我回家说知道。那个不行，就是可能要训练你们的那个国际观。好，这边用中文讲一下，是这边的话，就是说我们所谓的 VNA 是指说，因为我们传统的 test 它只能够在就是存取医学影像。那所谓的 VNA 是说，那我们这种概念。就是说，除了用这样的概念之后，我们在这样一个架构之下，它可以在同一个界面，在同一个系统上可以存取包含的影像报告、包含的影像、包含的检验报告、病理报告，都是一些就是关于就是注册或是说挂号等等一些相关的资讯。那在传统的医院来说的话，这些系统其实都是分开的。所以现在在国际上的一些重要的大厂，他们都是朝着这个 VNA 的方向去做。所以这个会有什么好处呢？就是说，它其实会带领，就是说这个医院的整个信息系统都整合，像我们的校务行政系统一样，就是说以前就是可能要选个就一个系统，然后就是你要去做什么就是一个系统，它就变成说就是像是一个透头一样，然后可以去存取任何的系统，然后可以在这个医院里面做任何的事情，就是不需要再有太多的资讯系统来做一个这个就是这个 VNA 的一个精神。那传统的 test。基本上就是要脱离这个概念，就是变成是下一代的所谓的 test。好，那就是大概我刚刚讲了10分钟，大概就讲这些东西这样子。Okay, so 大概 we will change the international. And in summarize, the VNA can be concluded in the two important concepts. First, the system has the ability to retrieve parsing, windowing, and display a DICOM image on a web browser. So it's the simplest way is by using the JavaScript with HTML browsers and without using HTML5. But in most of vendors, they will adapt HTML5 to develop their new products. The concept is concept 1 plus mobile capacity. The mobile capacity is very important as a key features for the VNA architecture. 这个是一个医院传统的一个作业的一个在放射科做的一个资讯系统，它要做一些影像截取、看报告什么的，然后这个是在院外里面就可以透过 web 的方式去存取报告。The scenario is how allow the user to access the medical imaging in a hospital. It's across different departments. This area is a radiology department of radiologists. The imaging has acquisition from acquisition modalities and stored in the image archive. And the radiologists, this is radiologists have to retrieve the image from the image archiving and write a report and send the report to a report repository. And outside of Department of Radiology, like the clinical department, 通常是内科，就是他们要住院医生他们要看报告的时候，他会需要看影像。Clinical departments must to consult the image reporting and the images. Currently, in the traditional test, this only can view the reports. But if we adopt a web access, the physicians can access the image by the internet with a technology of web access to DICOM presentation object.